Hello everyone and welcome back to the All Things K-Movies channel. I'm your host Ian from EonTalk, and in today's video, we'll be going over some of the best Korean movies revolving around the topic of sports. Sports is a huge part of South Korea, from soccer to baseball, volleyball to basketball, team sports to individual athletics. Global events like the Olympics and World Cup are an integral part of the Korean society. And so, it's not surprising to see numerous great films based on sports come out of Korean cinema. Thus, today, I'll be introducing to you 10 of my personal favorite Korean sports movies. But before getting into the list, I'd like to remind you that as always with my listicle videos, the ranking will be based on my personal taste. Thus, if you have differing views, you can respectfully leave those in the comments down below. Okay then, that being said, let's get right into today's video on Top 10 Korean Sports Movies. Starting off the list, the number 10 movie is the 2013 release film, Mr. Go. Mr. Go was directed by Kim Yong-hwa, who also directed the two Along with the Gods movies, as well as the more recent The Moon. The film starred Song Dong-il and Seo-gyo as the main leads, and the movie is unique in that it heavily used CGI to portray the gorilla character, Ling-mi. Mr. Go revolves around the sport of baseball, and the synopsis is as follows. After her grandfather passes away, 15-year-old Wei Wei is left to lead the traditional Yongpa circus all on her own. Her only companion and family since birth is Ling-ling, a 45-year-old gorilla. With a weight of 285 kilograms and strength 20 times that of a human, Ling-ling may appear tough on the outside, but he has a gentle and caring personality, always staying by Wei Wei's side like family. Thanks to her baseball-loving grandfather, Ling-ling's skills in baseball are even better than circus acts. Their story begins when they decide to head to Korea to pay off the debt left by their grandfather. Despite concerns about the risky idea of a gorilla playing baseball, Wei Wei, determined to earn a large sum of money, accepts the offer from the infamous agent Song Chung-soo. With their willingness to do anything for money, Ling-ling officially debuts in Korean professional baseball, and with his natural strength, speed, and training, he soon becomes a national superstar. Next, the number 9 film is the most recently released film on this list, Dream. Directed by Lee Byung-hun, whose other hilarious works include 20 and Extreme Job, Dream saw the likes of Park Seo-joon, IU, Kim Jong-soo, Ko Chang-seok, and Lee Yeon-woo starring in the film. Like that of the director's previous works, the movie was a comedy full of light laughs. Dream is a film that's based on the sport of soccer or football. The synopsis is as follows. Hongdae, a soccer player facing the worst crisis of his career, reluctantly becomes the coach of a homeless football World Cup team. With the passionate yet passionless documentary PD, Somin, a group of extraordinary players with torn sneakers, slippers, and loose t-shirts who have never played the sport before, Hongdae must form and lead a national team with what resources he has. As their unorthodox teamwork unfolds, they face the challenge of dealing with Somin's forced dialogue, contrived situations, and insincere direction. With the World Cup approaching, can they succeed? Moving on to the number 8 spot, the number 8 movie goes to the 2016 film, Split. Directed by Choi Guk-hee, who also directed Life is Beautiful and Default, Split starred the likes of Yoo Ji-tae, Lee Jung-yeon, Lee Da-wit, and Chung Sung-hwa. Revolving around the sport of bowling, the synopsis of Split is as follows. Once hailed as a legend in the world of bowling, Chol-jong loses everything in a fateful accident. By day, he's a salesman, and by night, he's a player in underground bowling matches, living a lackluster life. However, one day, he stumbles upon Young-un, who possesses extraordinary talent in bowling, matched only by his introverted nature. Chol-jong sees potential in Young-un and persuades him to become his partner. With the guidance of Heejin, Chol-jong's accomplice and the mastermind behind the underground gambling matches, they finally set stage for a high-stakes game. With the addition of a persistent rival, the intense competition begins, and Chol-jong's endearing fate is put to the test. At number 7, we have the 2018 film Champion. Directed by Kim Yong-wan, the director of The Curse, Dead Man's Prey, Champion saw the likes of Ma Dong-seok, Kwon Yul, and Han Ye-ri. The movie is of the drama genre, so expect it to get pretty emotional, but it also has humor scattered throughout the film. Revolving around the sport of arm wrestling, Ma Dong-seok was the perfect actor fit for the role. The synopsis is as follows. In Los Angeles, Mark, who once dreamed of becoming a world champion in arm wrestling, now works at a club as a bouncer. However, he is convinced by Shin-gi, a self-proclaimed top sports agent, to return to Korea. With a determination to prove himself, Mark's bulging biceps, which had long been dormant, spring back into action. As a welcome home gift from Shin-gi, Mark embarks on a journey to find his long-lost mother. However, instead of his mother, he discovers his unknown half-sister, Sujin, and her 2 children. In the blink of an eye, they all find themselves caught up in the whirlwind of arm wrestling, where winning means losing everything. Moving along, at number 6, we have another recent film that came out earlier this year, Rebound. Directed by Chang Han-jun, who also directed Forgotten. This director can be seen on various TV shows nowadays. Some may even say he's more of an entertainer now, but don't let that make you think he's not a movie director, as his latest work is a great motivational film. Rebound featured An Jae-ong, Lee Shin-young, Chung Ji-nun, Kim Taek, and more, and is based on a true story of a high school basketball team in Busan. The synopsis is as follows. Yang Yeon, a former basketball player turned public service worker, is appointed as the new coach for the struggling basketball team at Busan Central High School, which is on the verge of disbandment. Their first opponent in the national competition is none other than the powerhouse Yongsan High School. After suffering a humiliating defeat and facing the disgrace of disbanding the team, Coach Yang Yeon draws upon his own experience as a former MVP high school player and rallies the team once more. Though considered the weakest team with no expectations, under the guidance of their new coach and with the determination of the 6 players, they embark on an incredible journey. Before moving into the top 5, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to ExpressVPN. If you would like to access more Korean movies through streaming services, I highly suggest using ExpressVPN to connect to servers from other locations and gain access to thousands of more content. By using ExpressVPN, you can bypass geo restrictions, meaning you can be from anywhere around the world and access the Korean and other country servers. If you would like to access more Korean content like movies, dramas, and shows, be sure to sign up for ExpressVPN using my link in the descriptions or expressvpn.com/EonTalk and get 49% off an annual plan plus 3 extra months for free. Better yet, if you sign up and don't like the service, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning you can cancel anytime within the first 30 days. And now, the top 5. Starting off the top 5, the number 5 movie is the 2011 release film, Perfect Game. This movie was directed by Park Hee-gon, who directed Feng Shui, as well as the recently released movie, Don't Buy the Seller, aka Target. Starring in the film were Cho Seung-woo, Yang Dong-gun, and Choi Jung-won, and although the film isn't very well known globally, that's more the reason why you should check it out. Revolving around the sport of baseball, this hidden gem is definitely worth the watch. The synopsis is as follows. Amidst the anxiety and turbulence of the 1980s, professional baseball had captivated the entire nation, transcending mere sport. Choi Dong-won, who had risen to become South Korea's top pitcher through sheer effort and perseverance, represented Lotte. On the other hand, Sun Dong-yeol, the brilliant young pitcher of Haedae, followed closely in Choi's footsteps. Despite once being friends and mentors to each other, the world cast them as rivals. With a tied record of 1 win and 1 loss, their ultimate showdown takes place. The number 4 movie goes to the 2008 released drama film, Forever the Moment. Forever the Moment was directed by Im Sun-rae, who also directed Little Forest, The Whistleblower, and more recently, The Point Man, and had great performances by Moon So-ri, Kim Jong-un, Tae-eun, Kim Ji-young, Cho Eun-ji, and Cha Min-ji. This is another highly motivational film that was based on a true story and revolves around the sport of handball. The synopsis is as follows. Mi-suk, a former Olympic champion in women's handball, transitions to an ordinary job at a supermarket after her team faces dissolution. Meanwhile, Hae-kyung, a successful coach of a professional Japanese team, returns to Korea to lead the struggling national handball team. To rejuvenate the team, she recruits Mi-suk and other former veterans, but her coaching style creates conflicts among players old and new. The chairman dismisses Hae-kyung due to team discord, prompting her to return as a player, vowing to regain her honor. Seung-pil, a former star player turned coach, takes over as the head coach, introducing scientific methods that clash with the traditional Korean style. Tensions rise as the team faces challenges and internal conflicts. Ultimately, through relentless determination, teamwork, and an unwavering spirit, they unite in order to recapture their World Championship title. Coming in at number 3 of my list of top Korean sports movies is the second oldest film on this list, Crying Fist. Directed by one of the most recent notable directors of Korean cinema, Lee Seung-wan, the film starred Choi Min-sik as well as the brother of the director, Lee Seung-bum. Other directorial works of Liu are Veteran, Escape from Mogadishu, and most recently, Smugglers. Crying Fist is a film that revolves around the sport of boxing and is a story of motivation and redemption. The synopsis is as follows. Tae-sik, once a celebrated boxing champion, has now become a street fighter, battling for money to clear his gambling debts and support his family. With his life in shambles, Tae-sik's only remaining hope is to reunite with his estranged son. He becomes a spectacle both for the crowds that gather to watch him fight and the debt collectors who hound him relentlessly. On the other hand, Sang-wan, a 19-year-old delinquent, is sent to a youth detention center following a violent altercation. There, he discovers boxing as an avenue for redemption and self-worth. Determined to help his ailing grandmother, Sang-wan throws himself into training and fighting within the confines of the detention center. The two individuals' paths eventually converge in the Rookie Championship Finals, where these two fighters, with distinct backgrounds and destinies, confront not only each other, but also the challenges that life has thrown at them. And now just 2 movies left. The top 2 sports movies of Korean cinema. First, the number 2 film is the oldest film on this list, Marathon. Directed by Chung Yun-chul, whose other movies include Shim's Family, A Man Who Was Superman, and Warriors of the Dawn, Marathon featured amazing acting by the main leads, Cho Seung-woo and Kim Mi-soo. It'd be an understatement to say that Cho Seung-woo carried this film, as his acting was phenomenal. As you can tell from the movie's title, the film revolves around running, but it's so much more than that. The synopsis of this must-watch film is as follows. Despite his limitations, Cho-won's exceptional running abilities become his and his mother, Kyung-suk's, beacon of hope. When former marathon champion Chung-woo is ordered to perform community service at Cho-won's school, Kyung-suk persuades him to coach her son. Their journey is filled with ups and downs, including disagreements and challenges, but it ultimately leads them to believe in Cho-won's dream of achieving a sub-3-hour marathon time. As Chung-wook bonds with Cho-won and adapts to his unique needs, they embark on a rigorous training regimen, showcasing the power of determination, love, and human spirit in the face of adversity. And finally, the number 1 Korean sports film. The number 1 spot goes to the 2009 film, Takeoff. Takeoff was directed by Kim Yong-hwa, who was mentioned earlier for directing the number 10 film, Mr. Go. This is yet another film that was based on true events and is full of motivation and emotions. The sport featured in this film isn't the most popular, especially in Korea, ski jump. However, you really get invested once you start watching, and the film is able to keep your attention throughout its duration. There also is a sequel titled Runoff, but I personally thought that this, the prequel, was a much better film. The synopsis is as follows. Cha Hon-tae, or Bob, is a Korean American who was adopted with his sister to American parents. He appears on a Korean television program in search for his mother, and because he's a trained alpine skier, he is approached by Coach Pang who seeks to recruit members for a new national ski jumping team for the approaching 1998 Winter Olympics. With the other members, the team gears up for the qualifying match by training in unusual and unique places with unorthodox methods due to limited resources. After almost getting disqualified, they succeed in qualifying. However, the victory is bittersweet as they hear the news that the IOC opted for a different location over Korea's Muju County. Will they be able to overcome the challenges and bring back gold to Korea? And that's it for today's video on top Korean sports movies. Some films that you believe should have made it on this list may not have been included, but please remember that this list was based on my personal recommendations. Nonetheless, I'd love to hear which movies you believe are deserving of the title Top Korean Sports Movies, as well as movies on this list that you've seen and enjoyed, so please leave a comment or join in on the discussions on the EonTalk Telegram group, linked in the descriptions. If you enjoyed this video and would like more similar content, be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to sign up for ExpressVPN with my link to access more Korean movies and dramas. Once again, thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.